have seen more people that, frankly, did not like me so much, and now they're saying, what a great pick. You see the kind of reaction. He has helped bring the party together.
Donald Trump last night on 60 Minutes from CBS News with his running mate Mike Pence, crediting Governor Pence for achieving party unity. Will that be evident this week at the convention, and will it be effective on Election Day in November? As we continue now on Newsmax Prime, we're very happy to remind you that we'll be taking your calls later on this hour at 1-877-NEWSMAX. That's 1-877-639-7629. To talk about Republican Party unity, let's talk about the former vice presidential nominee of the Libertarian Party, who is a political commentator and quite a writer. I refer to my good friend Wayne Allyn Root, Skyping in tonight from Las Vegas. Wayne is the author of the soon-to-be-released book, Angry White Male: How the Donald Trump Phenomenon is Changing America and What We Can All Do to Save the Middle Class. I believe the release date on the book is August 23rd. And I guess we're going to get a sneak preview since this is convention week. Wayne, let me ask you. Donald Trump, of course, made news, and it really struck a populist chord when he proposed a ban on Muslim immigration. Mike Pence criticized that initially. Now it appears Governor Pence has evolved in terms of his view. Let's look and listen to how it went down last night on 60 Minutes.
In fact, in Indiana, we suspended the Syrian refugee program in the wake of a terrorist attack. We have no higher priority than the safety and security of the people of this country.
So Mike Pence, apparently, if not doing a 180, at least based on events, changed his position. During his days in Congress, he supported a bill where I tangled with him, saying he wanted those who had come here illegally to pay back taxes and a fee. I equated that with amnesty. Bottom line, Wayne Allyn Root, does Mike Pence's record on immigration concern you?
No, look, this is the Donald Trump show. First of all, hello, JT. Great to be on with you. And as far as an answer to your question, this is the Donald Trump show. Never before in history has a VP meant less, although I do agree he's fantastic for unity within the GOP and the base of the GOP. He's attractive to Christians and conservatives. But to the outside world, listen, I know lots of liberals. I produce TV shows in Hollywood for a living, and I know lots and lots of liberal people, and none of them are voting for Trump. They hate him. They're liberal. They can't stand him. Pence's selection doesn't bother them, doesn't help him, doesn't hurt him. It doesn't matter. They don't like Donald Trump. I know lots of people that like Donald Trump. Pence's selection isn't affecting them. In the end, it's the Donald Trump show. I wouldn't worry too much about Mike Pence. He doesn't bring any negatives to the ticket. He's just there. He's a fine man. After the election of President Donald Trump, he'll be great to bring bills to Congress and help massage them and get them passed. He's a great bridge to the United States Congress. Right now, he isn't deciding the election one way or the other with Donald Trump at the top of the ticket.
So there's a reason vice presidential picks are number 2 on the ticket. I hear you. Yet, when you talk about unity, still several prominent GOPers, for example, the political family Bush, are staying away from this week's convention. Earlier today on ABC's Good Morning America, former Speaker Newt Gingrich reacted to the absence of the Bush family. Let's look and listen.
The reason people nominated Donald Trump is they weren't happy, and frankly, the Bushes are behaving, I think, childishly. Childishly? Childishly. I mean, Jeb lost. You know, get over it. I mean, the fact is this Republican Party's been awfully good to the Bushes.
Yeah, look, not everybody's going to get to be president. We only have one at a time. Some of us entertained that notion, and we didn't even run in the primaries. So is this the intense family tragedy that the Bush family seems to be playing out here?
You know, I love when the media talks about is there going to be unity at the GOP convention, JD. Do you realize Donald Trump just got the most votes in the history of GOP presidential primaries? There's a reason for that. He's beloved by the base. I don't worry about a few sore losers, and that's exactly what I would call the Bushes, sore losers and establishment Republicans who don't think the same way about things as I do. When Donald opens his mouth, it always seems what comes out seems to be exactly What I'm thinking, and all my middle class friends are thinking, all my small business owner friends are thinking, we can't believe there's finally someone running for president who thinks just like us and is willing to say it. So I'm not worried whether we lose a few establishment Republicans. We gain back 2 or 3 for every one we lose, who is a Democrat, who's never voted Republican before, an independent, who maybe never got excited about McCain or Romney. And don't forget about Republicans who never got excited about McCain or Romney. I think Trump's going to get all of the working and middle class in the tent and make up for any establishment sore loser who doesn't join the club. And if they don't, they're just going to get left out. It happened with Barry Goldwater, by the way. Pat Buchanan wrote a column about it a few months ago, and I thought it was fantastic. He named a few major Republican figures who wouldn't get on the Goldwater bandwagon, and then Goldwater lost by a landslide, right? Well, they were never heard from again in the Republican Party. Who campaigned for Goldwater, even though he lost by a landslide? Ronald Reagan, who went on to become president of the United States. You either get on the Trump train or history will forget you. You become anonymous in the history of the Republican Party. Big mistake by Jeb Bush.
And more immediately, in terms of 1964, the next election cycle, Richard Nixon jumped in to campaign very hard for Barry Goldwater and was rewarded with the party's nomination in 1968, and he won the presidency. One group you left out, Wayne, and I guess I'll bring up the L word, the libertarians. A couple of former Republicans, Gary Johnson, ex-governor of New Mexico, and Bill Weld, former Republican governor of Massachusetts, are teamed up on the ticket. Liberal Republicans, open borders Republicans, trotting out charges of racism against Trump. Is this where the hoi polloi, the Bushes and the other Republicans go, or do they just cast blank ballots in November for president?
I don't know what they're going to do, but whether they vote for Gary Johnson on the Libertarian ticket or whether they vote for nothing and sit home and sit on their hands, they're voting for Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton is a third term of Obama. And as I keep arguing, I could bring up 100 different issues. Name the issue, JD, and I'll have a great debate with you about it. I know a lot about a lot of different issues, and I'm on Donald Trump's side on all of them. But the only real issue that matters to me and millions like me, small businessmen, is that the economy is horrible. You know, nobody's talking about the facts. It's not sexy that the White House just released a lower GDP number, 1.9% is the prediction of gross domestic product economic growth for this year. You know what that means? 8 straight years under Barack Obama have been under 3% GDP growth. No president in the history of America since 1770s, since the day we became the United States of America, no one's ever produced 8 straight years of economic growth below 3%, not in the depths of the Great Depression. That makes Obama worse than Herbert Hoover, historically the worst economic president in history. And you'll never hear that on the news, but I feel it every day as a businessman and a business owner, and I'm telling you, we won't survive another term of Barack Obama, and Hillary has said she wants to be an extension of Barack Obama, except from their campaign rhetoric, she's headed towards Bernie Sanders, which is even more spending than Barack Obama, even more socialism than Obama. So anyone who stays home and sits on their hands and won't vote for Trump, you get what you deserve. You're going to have a socialist nation and the end of America, in my opinion.
So while you are stressing economic security and prosperity, tonight, the theme of the convention is safety in terms of international relations, our borders, and quite frankly, what's going on with the cops. 30 seconds. Will Trump and the Republicans make an effective case tonight?
Oh, absolutely. Look at Nice, which just happened days ago. What a tragedy. And according to Barack Obama, we need some sort of a truck ban, some sort of truck confiscation, truck-free zones. It's so ludicrous to think the reaction to terrorism is to ban guns in the hands of good people like me and you, JD, and most of middle-class America. That's why I wrote a book called Angry White Male. It's time we spoke out. We're the soccer moms of the 2016 election.
We're the truckin' dads, and at Friendly Amendment Wayne Allyn Root, we thank you. Again, the name of the book, Angry White Male, How the Donald Trump Phenomenon is Changing America and What We Can All Do to Save the Middle Class. Thanks so much, Wayne. More right after this.